Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and today is Innistrad Midnight Hunt release day, and what better day to crack open an entire box of set boosters and show you everything that is inside. I'm going to open up all the packs in this box, tell a bunch of stories along the way, and it should be a lot of fun. Let's get started, shall we? So Innistrad Midnight Hunt, we worked on this one quite a while ago, and it's really cool to finally have it out here in stores, a sequel to the other Innistrad sets, of course, and especially that original Innistrad set. Fun fact, I came to work at Wizards right as original Innistrad came out, so getting to see it come out now for people all 10 years later is a really, really cool moment. So here is the box with all the packs in all their glory. I'm just going to crack them open, tell some stories along the way, and we'll play the fun little list mini game if we get there. See if I can guess which list cards are in the pack. So let's kind of set this up here and start on going. They're a little puffier on the side, so some of our vendors end up with the kind of puffy side packs. That's always kind of cool, or at least different for some folks. I remember this first started in Battle Bond. Was the first time I really noticed it. All right, so you can always tell if there's a list card at the back if you see a token at the back. Sometimes, if it's a, sometimes I think if you get a double-faced reminder card at the back, it'll have that too. But if there's a token, definitely no list card. Okay, so with the set booster, the way it kicks off, first thing you're gonna get is an art series card. There's look like this on one side with the art work, and then on the other side, you've got a little place someone could sign. You can do a little doodle talking about the card, whatever the case might be. Then of course we've got this Eternal Night basic land, which looks super nice. There's a cool kind of glossy treatment on the pin line there. You can check that out in your hand. Really gorgeous. Then, of course, we've got just a mix of commons and uncommons from the set. I talked about this in my last video, so I'm not going to go through every single bit, but you get some connected commons and uncommons that are connected potentially in some loose way. So here's some of these fine cards. Oh, hey, check this out. Here's a card from the Midnight Hunt Commander decks, Lenore Autumn Sovereign. You can indeed get that in non-foil here. I know some players prefer to not have foil cards. So one thing we try to do with the set boosters is give people ways to get them. So, hey, check it out. First pack here. Here's your Lenore for you. Yeah, if you're not into foils, well, here's the version you can pick up. Get a double-faced card here in the Tireless Hauler. Looks like this. You get another double-faced card in Mysterious Tome. Here is the Briar Bridge Tracker. Kind of a nod back to Tireless Tracker, a card I designed, by the way. So, love that design. And cool, it inspired a nod here in Briar Bridge Tracker. Getting to the back of the pack, we get a guaranteed foil in every single set booster. Here is a Shadow Beast sighting and foil. And then, of course, we get our little token at the back. Here's a clue with a little bit of story right there. Your first Harvest Tide may be your last. Be very, very careful. All right, so we'll set aside, like always setting aside the rares here. Rares and foils. So we'll set those aside. 2 rares in this pack between Lenore and the Briar Bridge Tracker. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can get extra rares. I'll keep the land out too. You're going to want that in these packs. Let's go on pack number 2. Let's see what we find. All right, so another token at the back, so no list card in this booster. We've got a Forest by Dan Mumford here. One of those Eternal Night forests, so you get the full art card there. That's pretty gorgeous. Got one of these islands. And once again, these are just so pretty. I mean, they're in person gorgeous, but on camera, it picks it up decently well. You got to get your hands on some in person, though, to really see its full-on glory. But the way it hits the pin line there is super cool. I'm going to pull that out over here. Got some of our commons and uncommons here. Let's get past those. This is a sweet multicolored card, though. First set with multicolor flashback spells, believe it or not. This one right here. Ooh, here's a card in the Eternal Night frame, or excuse me, Equinox frame. Shady Traveler. And then, hey, what do you know? They travel in packs, as it turns out. The Shady Travelers. Well, because it opened a booster pack, but also I guess they're werewolves. So 2 Shady Travelers back to back. That's pretty funny. And there's the kind of different versions. It's kind of cool actually to see them like this because you get to see both different kinds, right? So here's the normal frame one, and here is that Equinox frame version for you. You can flip over and see it on the other side too. Then there's this Bird Admirer. If you're into birds or not into birds, you might want to hang out with the Wing Shredder. Massive Gristlebrand, a throwback, of course, to Gristlebrand, who showed up in Avacyn Restored. Dead, but not forgotten, as it turns out. And then our foil is, whoo, nice, a foil Delver of Secrets. This card showed up in original Innistrad and was huge. Actually, you know what? I hate to distract from the video like this, but I think, right here, Hold on a second. This will be worth it, I promise. This was not planned. Not that any of this was planned, but I found this the other day when I was cleaning. And if you give me just a moment, check this out. Here's the original playtest card for Delver of Secrets. I only have the front face. The back face is not on here. But here's the front face. Naive Scientist. 3 mana 2/2. And it transforms into a 5/5 that flies on the other side. Definitely a lot weaker. That would not have seen as much legacy or standard or basically any play at all. So, funny how times have changed. I can't believe I just had that handy, but there you go. Lots of fun playtest cards in here. I'll save that for another episode, though. Love showing off various playtest cards from Magic history. I found that one right when I started at Wizards, because like I said, Innistrad was out in person when I started, so there were just some old playtest cards lying around. There's the Insectile Aberration on the backside. For you, Foil Delver of Secrets, I will show off some of your secrets. And then also, we've got the Magic minigames returning in the set booster packs. Just fun little things you can do with a pack with a friend. And then Human on the other side. Booster Blitz you've seen before. We actually did a video here on Good Morning Magic about it way back in the day with Melissa DeTora. But, you know, it still returns. It's a classic. It's just a really great Magic minigame. All right, on to our third pack here. Ooh, card the back might be a list card. You get a list card about 1 in every 4 packs, so you're never really sure when they're going to show up, but it's always really exciting. Brutal Cathar by Karl Kopinski here. There's that on this side. Really cool. All right, I dropped that, but we'll pick that up later. Don't worry about it. All right, here's our Swamp. Getting a nice spread of basic colors here. You see how it once again hits that pin line right there. Just that extra little bit of gloss, or I'm not sure, a matte treatment, I think is what it's called. Excuse me. On the pin line. Did a video talking about this. It's pretty sweet. Get some of our commons, uncommons here. Moonrager Slash, nice removal spell. Rise of the Ants. I love this card name, by the way. Big fan of that name. Ooh, yes. So something we started doing in this set is we started including a small number of set booster cards for Commander. You'll notice this has the Commander expansion symbol and MIC down here to indicate that it is part of the Commander deck suite. It's not standard legal, but the idea of these slots is, you know, when we make 2 Commander decks for a set, that's great, but we're often missing a color, or there might be a really cool creative thing we can do on the world that doesn't really fit in with what else is going on in those 2 Commander decks. And this is a great example. It's a Curse Commander, which wouldn't fit in either of the 2 Commander decks. We wouldn't want to do a blue-black Curse Commander, or especially a green-white Curse Commander. But here, in these packs, we could do it as a Grixis Curse Commander, which makes a lot of sense. How do you all feel about these set booster cards? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you like them, dislike them, want to see more of them? Yeah, let me know. And in the meantime, I'm excited to build a Commander deck with Lind. Actually, this is the first one of these I've pulled, so really excited to have this here. Well, that's sweet. We already have 1 rare out of this pack. So that's a big win. Fang Blade Brigand is here. Hello. Which turns into the Fang Blade Eviscerator. We've got Overwhelmed Archivist, another double-faced card here. Ooh, and then we've got a dual land in the Rockfall Vale. I asked on Twitter what people were going to call these lands, and I started the bidding at slow lands as mirrors to the fast lands. And so far, no one has said anything that I think is going to catch on more. So maybe we're stuck with slow lands. But what are you all calling these? Maybe you have a better option. Maybe YouTube is more reliable than Twitter when it comes to nicknames for cards. Let me know in the comments down below what you're calling these things. And then we've got a Jack-O-Lantern. Perfect. Nice foil Jack-O-Lantern. I'm going to put this outside my door, I think, for Halloween instead of the actual card. That foiling on that's great. Looks really cool. Oh, I ruined it. I got so excited by the Jack-O-Lantern. I went ahead and saw the list card already. I'll have to play it the next time around. I saw it. It's Dungeon Shade. Little 3B11 from Stronghold. Always cool to see that old card frame treatment show up in a pack. Love the old frames. All right, I'm gonna set these over here, and then we'll keep on trucking. All right, Spirit. Little Spirit token in this pack. We've got, for our art card, Sun Gold Sentinel. Check that out. Got another Island. It's cool matte frame there. All right, got some commons, uncommons. Vampire Interloper, a reprint from original Innistrad, by the way. Kind of cool to see that here. I like it when we bring back the reprints with the artwork from the plane. It used to be for a long time we would just get entirely new artwork for the plane, and we still do that sometimes, but if it's still the same plane, if it still makes sense to do the same art again, we'll just do the same art now, because, hey, it fit on the plane the first time. Let's run it back here. I think Unruly Mob, that might also be true for something like that. Still angry, the mob, as it turns out. All right, going through these, we have Visions of Ruin. Here's our Commander card for the pack. pretty cool. There's a cycle of these, one for each color, that have their flashback reduced by their commander cost. These are all designed, I think, by Corey Bowen, the lead designer of the commander product this time around. And just, yeah, I thought having a cycle here in the set boosters would be kind of cool. And once again, red, not a color represented in either of the commander decks. So this lets us have a red card here, which is nice. That's aligned to the commander decks. Put that over here. Got Tavern Ruffian with Tavern Smasher on the backside. We got the Stalking Predator. Ooh, Light Up the Night. Nice. This is a goofy kind of flashback spell that has you removing loyalty counters from your planeswalkers to deal damage. It's got like a blaze. Any blaze that doubles up instead is always nice to me, right? So we had one in original Innistrad, and happy to have this here. The one that flashbacked for XRRR. And then at the back, we got, Foil Sunset Revelry. This is a card that's garnered a lot of discussion as to how strong it might be. I wouldn't be surprised to see this card show up. Timely Reinforcements saw a lot of play back in the day. So, pretty cool card. And at the back, we have, another Booster Blitz minigame card. All right. Keep moving. Okay. Oh, I haven't seen this ad card before. That's cool. Be the best player in the room, as it turns out. I want to be the best player in the room. Go to mtgarena.com, apparently. All right, Hedge Witch's Mask. It's cool. Really leaning into kind of like the Harvesttide Festival vibe of the set. That's awesome. Here's the Plains. You'll see how this one looks with that little matte border there. Perfect. All right. Oh, there it is. Unruly Mob. Same art as original, but the flavor text on this one has changed across the sets, which I think is awesome. Showing that the mob is always unruly about something. Defenestrate is a card name that we have talked about using for ages, and I'm glad we finally got it in here. I think that was Ethan Fleischer's doing. Shout out to Ethan for making that happen. All right, go through here. Ooh, we got a little Showcase Outland Liberator. Nice way to blow up an artifact or enchantment. A card that is certainly consideration for play, in the vein of, Reclamation Sage and a long history of stuff like that. Whatever the 3/4 dinosaur was called. I'm really good with the old card names, less good with the ones that I started at Wizards. You kind of just know my playtest names. Oh, here we got a Showcase Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Also a Showcase Bird Admirer. Oh my gosh, it's Croaking Counterpart, one of my favorite cards in the set. That art is just one of the best things we've ever put on a Magic card, in my opinion. I love it. Look at that guy. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at the face. Look at that. How would you not want to cast this card with a face like that and a goose like this? What's not to love? Frog is the sincerest form of flattery. It's even a callback to Cackling Counterpart from the first set, by the way. You might not have got that reference. Croaking Counterpart, reference to Cackling Counterpart, which made a token of a creature you controlled and flashback. Well, here you go, except it's green-blue now, and you get to make frogs. So, how about that? We got a foil Neon's Rush here at the very back, and then this Magic Arena ad card. All right, on to the next booster. Yeah, there's a lot of fun subtle nods. Okay, card at the back. Got to remember, don't go too fast, Gavin. Don't go too fast. You got to remember that there's a lot of fun callbacks here to original Innistrad, right? We're really trying to tie into the history of the plane this time around. There's Light Up the Night art card. That's pretty cool. By Wei. Here's a Swamp. Let's keep on going. See what we find here. Tireless Hauler and Tavern Ruffian, both in Showcase. That's pretty cool. And another Showcase Dawnheart Rejuvenator. I like the Showcase style a lot here. It gives that cool, like, creepy, almost creepy comics vibe. It's like, I don't know, if the Ikoria frames and the Eldraine frames had like a creepy baby, that's what we have here. And I'm here for the creepy babies. I love a good creepy baby. Give me Chucky or something. All right. Oh, another Showcase card. Shady Traveler. Cool. That's nice. Keep on moving to Slogurk, the Overslime. Here's a card for you. It is a Ooze Commander that is pretty fun to build around. Does a little bit of stuff with graveyards. So, you get to do some self-mill, pump it up, and then, bring back some lands. Kind of a very engine-y, Johnny Jenny style commander deck. I look forward to seeing what folks do with this wacky card. And it's a legendary Ooze. I know that the 1 green-blue mana cost is kind of like causes heart palpitations in some. This one I think will be a little bit more fair than Uro or Oko were. So yeah, this one's I think it's just a fun commander build around Slogurk, the Overslime. And then Otherworldly Gaze and foil at the back. Okay, now don't mess it up this time. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Oh, this is a checklist card. All right. I told you at the very beginning, I get tricked sometimes. Because normally I'm used to the back card. If it's a magic back, it's a list card. Here was a checklist card. I got tricked. But still, good to have these around for all those double face cards that we're opening up. All right, let's crack this thing open. Okay, another card back here. Maybe a list card. I love playing a little list mini game. If you haven't seen me play it before, it's a lot of fun. I slide the card up from the bottom and try and guess what it is based off of collector number and maybe set or year. All right, there's Burn the Accursed. And then here is our island at the front. We're going to go past our commons and uncommons. Dawnheart Wardens, little coven here. Mechanic, just to talk about the witches a little bit rolling around here. The coven kind of references that. And it's just kind of a unique limited mechanic. Blade Bane Scoundrel, Bait Hook Angler, Disturb for the spirits. Fun fact is that Disturb was actually originally in Crimson Vow, but we ended up stealing it for this set. Did something else in Crimson Vow instead. You can stay tuned for what that is. Memory Deluge is our rare here. A nice big flashback spell. I really liked Drawn into Dreams. This card reminds me a lot of that, which is pretty sweet. And I appreciate things that play with the flashback cost, right? So this will go up for the X when you flash it back. So even when you flash it back late game, it doesn't feel like a feel bad or anything, you know? Got our foil, which is Candlegrove Witch. All right, now it's time for the list mini game, if this is indeed a list card. Oh, it's another checklist card. All right. Couldn't get me this time. I saw through your schemes there, checklist card, deceiver that you are. All right. We've got a little zombie, Decayed Zombie at the back. Decayed is just like a new kind of token trying out here. Curious what you all think about it. You know, they're tokens with a little rider on them that makes it just easier for us to make them. Vampire Socialite, this is a great tribal lord. Really excited to have. Some good uncommon tribal lords, I think, are just really help aid a lot of deck building, right? You're like, oh, I want to build a vampire deck? Well, it's easy. You just grab this card and some vampires to start. Now, it gets, of course, a lot more nuance depending on what you want to put into it, but cards like this are really important, especially for new players, giving them a really good hook to jump into. Here's the Showcase Candlegrove Witch, Dawnheart Mentor, the Bird Admirer. Ooh, Tovolar, nice. Yeah, this is, people have asked for, since the first Innistrad, when are we getting a Red-Green Werewolf Commander? Then we did Ulrich in the second Innistrad, which was unfortunately stretched a little bit too thin. You know, it was trying to be a standard card and a commander card and a lot of things at the same time. So for this set, we really buckled down and said, okay, let's make the Tovolar here really for the Werewolf Commander players and focus on that. And it ended up great. It might end up being a standard player too, but it's definitely the Werewolf Commander. Like, this is what you'll build around, which is really nice. I'm glad that exists for folks. There it is on the backside, Tovolar, the Midnight Scourge. By the way, fun fact, not the first time we've ever seen Tovolar. If you look at Mundronin Shaman in a original Innistrad block, there is a reference to Tovolar on there. Its backside is called Tovolar's something or other. Can't remember it. But anyway, Tovolar's Mage Hunters, maybe? Thought that was pretty cool. Got Bat Whisperer and foil. And then we get to make some new friends for Friday night. I like friends. Big fan of friends. Joey's kind of a jerk, though. All right, going on to the next one. We've got, and actually Ross, that guy, unbelievable. Anyway, enough jokes to date me. Here's Ren and 7 as an art card. That one is sweet, but this one in vertical. All right, and go through our Eternal Night basic land. Stuffed bear. This card name gets me every single time. I just love it. What is it? It's a stuffed bear. You know, we really went back to the well on original horror tropes here, like things that you just find in a horror movie. This is straight out of one, right? Like it's very Cabin in the Woods or something. I really love that we went back to that well here. For the very first Innistrad set, at the very beginning of set design, Rosewater had everyone just write up tropes on the whiteboard, and they made a bunch of cards based on that. And here, I know the team did a similar thing where they tried to look for tropes that hadn't been done yet and do them again, or do them for the first time rather. And yeah, so stuff like Stuffed Bear makes me smile. There's a Spell Rune Painter and the creepy Spell Rune Howler on the back. Love this art style. Burly Breaker, who turns into Dire Strain Demolisher. Village Watch that turns into Village Reavers. Ooh, an Unnatural Growth. Nice commander card here. And maybe it's, got some legs in standard. We'll see. I had this card in a draft on Arena the other day, and it was a house. Getting the quad green is tricky, but once you do, all your stuff is doubled. So, GL, friends. There's the unruly mob again. Back at it. What a mob. Oh, a little code. Check this out, folks. MTG21, 10% off a code designed by humans. Get some cool Innistrad shirts. I've been really enjoying a lot of the recent Innistrad stuff I've been getting from MTG Pro Shop. Shout out to them. They've made some really cool Innistrad shirts showing off a bunch of the cool like interstitial Innistrad art. So stay on the lookout for that. I know my face isn't on camera for this episode, but you can probably check it in the thumbnail. All right, Ominous Roost. Love, huge fan of cards like Burning Vengeance or Secrets of the Dead. They give you rewards for a flashback. I love those kind of build-arounds. Really happy to have this one here. Another Burly Breaker. Gonna break you, Burly. Chaplain of Arms. Here's the back sides of these in case you want to see them. Here's the Shield Geist and the Dire Strain Demolisher. And the Vengeful Strangler. Poor Strangler. Turns into a little curse almost on your opponent's creature. Not literally a curse. Lind would not work with this, but I think that's cool. We've got Willow Geist here at the back. I told the story previously too, but a lot of folks ask me why this has one or more cards. There's a number of reasons, balanced ones, but a big one is it combos with Tormod's Crypt and cards that exile your graveyard otherwise. If it gets a counter for every card you exile from your graveyard. Getting cards out of your graveyard is generally very easy to do, so gotta be watch out for that with cards like this. Although there's other balanced reasons why that might be the case as well. We've got a foil Spellrune Painter at the back, a foil double-faced card. Spellrune Howler there. Really cool seeing these showcase cards in foil. That's great. Love how just you see the hints of foil come across. And like the eyes on the Spellrune Painter. That's really cool. All right, on to the next booster. Or as the kids say these days, boosties. I don't know. I've been told that Misty Boosties is what they're called for the mystery boosters. So, hey, here's Arlen, another Planeswalker art card. Cool. Only have to ferry away from getting the full set of Planeswalker art cards. Here's a Swamp. I think different art that we've seen so far in this opening, though. Got some commons and uncommons. Play with Fire. That's a nice one. Shock with Upside. Just creeping on Shock. People love Shock. Tago from Onslaught would be so sad to know that we made a better Shock, but there you go. I guess it was already outmoded by Lightning Bolt when it was printed. Tireless Hauler, Fang Blade Brigand, Harvesttide Infiltrator. Flip these over so you can see what they look like. The Assailant, the Eviscerator, and the Dire Strain Brawler. The Bait Hook Angler. Ooh, can't stay away. Love the art on this with all the cats. That's rad. I think there's actually 9 cats in the art, right, which is appropriate for 9 lives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this one in the middle is the 9th cat. So there's your 9 lives for a cat. Fun little reference for all y'all there. Of course, cats have 9 lives. That's the belief in some circles anyway, or at least the reference being made. Evil Cats. What's not to love? Ooh, a foil rare. Nice. Graveyard Trespasser is here in the showcase frame. That's great. So we got a foil showcase rare. Gonna check out both sides here. See how this thing looks. Love how once again the hints of foiling on like the gravestone. Oh, big hats off to our production team here. We've got a whole team that works on the foiling of things. Big shout out to Marsha and Steve, all the many people who work on this because getting foiling right is hard. It takes a lot of careful work to make it really, really pop, and this is great. They did a great job here. Seeing all the elements of the frame just shine, like the moon in the background. Really nice. There's a Graveyard Glutton and the Graveyard Trespasser there. Cool, foil rare and a bird token for our little Flashback Matters card. Oop, card's starting to fall over here. Got to make my piles a little better. Okay, on to the next booster pack. Ooh, card at the back. Maybe it's a list card. Maybe we'll get to play our game. We'll see. All right, Bloodthirsty Adversary. Here's what that looks like if you haven't seen it. The art card. Ooh, nice. Sometimes, I think it's 15% if I remember correctly. You get a foil basic land here. And here is a foil Eternal Night basic, which, yeah, these are just so pretty. You really see that treatment on the edges shine here. Oh, that's awesome. I could look at this all day, but then the video would be very long and awkward, so I'm just going to keep moving. But definitely want to get a bunch of those for Commander. Field of Ruin, a much important reprint. It takes care of things like the book of the angelic book, plus Manland. It's important stuff. Fading Hope, creeping on Unsummoned too. Mystic Skull is here. The Mystic Monastery, nice. Lunarch Veteran, Luminous Phantom. And ooh, it's Liar, Disciple of the Drowned. Gives all your stuff in your graveyard flashback, or at least your instants and sorceries anyway. That's pretty sweet. We made a dragon that did this in Commander 2019 in the flashback deck when it attacked. But this is on a blue legend instead of a red legend. Actually, the prior card wasn't even a legend. Just on a blue legend instead of a red not legend. And plus your spells can't be countered, so that's always nice. Playing against pesky blue decks. So, for a guy named Liar, you make sure that the truth is told, ironically. We've got Howl of the Hunt as our foil. And then, okay, maybe we're going to be able to play the little list game here. All right, definitely. Oh, here it is. Dragons of Tarkir. It's a stamped card, so it is a rare. All right, a rare mythic. Let's see. It's got a 5/7. This is Dromoka, right? Dragonlord Dromoka. Am I right? Boom! That's a big open. That is rad. Oh, baby. This is a big card. Really happy to have this. Sees quite a bit of play in Commander. You can also like natural order into this in stuff like Legacy to make sure that your stuff doesn't get countered on your turn. A lot of times I think that people use the Archon of Valor's Reach instead. But anyway. Awesome. 5/7 flying 11 can't be countered. Love getting random stuff like this in the list. Like, you never know quite what you're going to get. There's a very wide range of cards. But when you get a hit like this, that's, just a random print from Magic's history, it feels really cool. That's awesome. Dragonlord Dromoka. Really nice open there. Ooh, another Magic back. Maybe it's another list card. We're going to find out. I'm going to first see this Deserted Beach, though. One of the new dual lands. Dessert. Oh, wait, no, wrong kind of dessert. Anyway, on to a Mountain Montania here. We got some commons. Lots of Coven stuff. Seeing the connected stuff come along there. Oh, boy. Here is... Hey, it's the Deserted Beach we just saw. Check out that. A little bit of serendipity there. The art card showing up in the same pack as that borderless Deserted Beach. Love how these look. These dual lands are amazing. Actually, this is perfect. I don't know if y'all watched my Collector Booster video, but I opened up every one of the dual lands in borderless except for Deserted Beach. So now I finally have a play set, one of each. That is perfect. These are so pretty. I'm going to want to make sure all of my dual lands from Midnight Hunt are this style. Just the art looks so good. It really pops. And shows off the color of Innistrad. Like, I think it's a good contrast to these lands. These lands create this like a kind of creepy black and white style, which is great. But Deserted Beach also reminds you that Innistrad is a world that has plenty of color in it too. And I think that's awesome. So happy to get that. Yes. Yes, please. Got these things going on. We got the adversaries, kind of like the multi-kicker cards in disguise. If memory serves, there was another cycle we tried here that didn't quite make it, and so we designed a new cycle at Mythic Rare. This is what they turned out to be. Things you can multi-kick up, and they do some pretty mean stuff when you do. Got Siege Zombie here, a card which has proved quite crucial in my limited games. A great use for all those extra zombie tokens that you don't want to attack with. And then let's see, is this a list card at the back? Oh, it is. Oh, it's old frame too, exciting. It's a 2/2 by Dave Dorman from 2003. So that's going to be like Onslaught era. It's going to be Onslaught block. Is it Goblin Warchief? Dave Dorman often does goblins too. Is it Goblin Warchief? Is that the card? Oh, Goblin Assassin. Whew, I was not guessing that one. I should know. I guess I should know this though. I've got a coin flip commander deck with Oakwand and Zender Split. There's a problem with this card and Oakwand and Zender Split. Do you know what it is? Can all you guess what the problem with Goblin Assassin is? The problem with Goblin Assassin, and why it's not in my Oakwand Zender Split deck, is that no one wins the flip. So you have to be very careful making coin flip cards. I've run into this a few times, where if you have a card that doesn't win the flip, it doesn't work with Oakwand and Zender Split. So now when we make coin flip cards, we're usually pretty careful to call out winning, but here it's simply a bad result for the Tails player, but there's nothing that calls out winning in particular. So poor Goblin Assassin does not make the cut in my coin flip deck, which is a bummer. Otherwise, I'd put this right in. Sorry, Goblin Assassin. Gotta give you the cold shoulder there. Alas, well, It's a reminder of the funny ways we used to do coin flips, I suppose. Okay, we've got Haunted Ridge here. Another nice dual land for y'all. An art card. Got this forest. Got our commons and uncommons here. Join the dance. Nice. That one's pretty cool. Token Makers with flashback have traditionally been pretty good. Got some showcase cards here. Another Bird Admirer, Lunar Veteran. Ooh, Sludge Monster. Nice. This is a cool horror. I love things that turn off abilities because it's always fun to figure out the stuff you can do with this. One thing I've seen happen that's pretty cool in Innistrad Limited is someone using this on their own zombie token so that they lose the Decayed ability and can attack as normal, which is a funny sideways use of this I hadn't considered, but kind of cool. And yeah, otherwise, just, 5 mana, 5/5 Slime Time. This was a hole-filling card. I don't remember who made it, but there was just an extra hole in the set. Design didn't have a card they liked, so they put this one up to hole-filling, and someone's design got chosen, which is pretty cool. No matter where you work at Wizards, you always get a chance to influence Magic sets like that. So if you want to come work for us and you love Magic, find a job doing anything, and truly anything. Customer service, arena, marketing, even D&D, and you can have a chance to work on Magic, which I think is really cool. There's Electric Revelation, and then an ad card at the back. All right, moving right along here. Gotta get these falling cards out of the way, otherwise I know someone's going to be like, I can't watch, the cards are falling in the background. Sorry if you're that person. I just don't stack my cards neatly enough. Okay, we're going on here to Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Here's this little art card. Open a few of these already. A nice island, that Eternal Night Frame. We got our commons and uncommons. Vivisection. I think it's cool. This was originally a card in it's either New Phyrexia or Mirrodin Besiege. I think it was New Phyrexia, where it was the Phyrexians, of course, dismantling something to gain knowledge from it. And here we see a much different version of it on Innistrad. Still the same kind of conceit, but no longer a bunch of scary, half-robotic people disassembling a poor Mirrodin. So I always love recontextualizing flavor, commons and uncommons. That's a cool one. Hey, here's Curse of Obsession. It's another one of those commander cards. Once again, we want to do a cycle of the curses. There's 2 in each of the commander decks. Red didn't get a commander deck, so this let us finish the cycle, which is another thing that these set booster cards enable us to do, which is really nice. This is a solid one, too. The other gimmick with these curses is we wanted them to be cards you would put on yourself sometimes. And yeah, this one is one I'll definitely put on myself sometimes. I get to draw 3 cards every turn. If I'm going to cast them all late in the game, I'm happy to do that anyway. Another Shady Traveler and Tavern Ruffian and Tireless Haunter. Ooh, another one of those, I'll call them multi-kicker cards. It's not literally multi-kicker, but pretty close. And Intrepid Adversary is here. This one is a total beating. You cast this on 6 to double Glorious Anthem your team and end up with a 5/3 lifelinker. I lost to this Unlimited the other day. It was not close. Got Blade Brand, a combat trick that we've used quite a few times now. A really nice one. And then our Day-Night Tracker card. Important for the day-nighting of werewolves. What do y'all think about the day-night mechanic? It's something that we actually tried all the way back in original Innistrad. Ooh, Magic card back. And we didn't end up going with the current werewolf mechanic instead, or the original werewolf mechanic instead, I should say. Do you like it? Would you prefer that all the werewolves worked the old way? Do you want them all to work the new way? Let me know in the comments down below. I know it's a popular topic. I'd love to gather some more data on it. Ooh, Foil Swamp. Oh, these look so pretty. Really, the team did an outstanding job on getting these Eternal Night cards out. These are some of the wildest basic lands. They really are like nothing else we've really done. And a foil, even better. Going into commander deck for sure. Nothing is going to dethrone my unhinged lands for me, but I personally am just have a strong attachment to them. If I liked anything spooky, if I was building a zombie deck though, I definitely use this swamp. There's a Gale Drifter, Fateful Absence, cool. Here's our Story Spotlight card. Reminds me of Declaration in Stone, a card which I designed. And 2 mana, kill something, investigate, instant speed, really nice. Easy way to kill something. And they get a small bonus for it down the road eventually, but 2 mana removal spell in white. Kills Planeswalkers, nice to have around. And a foil Ritual of Hope here. Nice. And then one of our checklist cards here at the back. Yeah, I think that there's something to be said for theming your basic lands to your commander deck, right? Like if you've got a cool theme rolling and you want to use the Theros basic lands or something for your Theros deck, or Innistrad basic lands for a tribal deck from Innistrad, I think that's a really great fit. Tovolar, sweet, and probably in the full showcase glory. Yeah, there we are. There's showcase Tovolar hanging out on that art card there. Got a Plains. We got another Defenestrate. Got our commons, uncommons. Gonna kind of zoom past them here. Borrowed Time. This card has an interesting story. I'm pretty sure this is what happened, if I remember correctly. So this card is just Banishing Light, right? Just straight up, it's Banishing Light. Nothing's really different about it. Why did we do this? Like, what's the reason why we just made another Banishing Light? Well, originally this was not Banishing Light. It was Banishing Light with small upside. I think it's Scryed or something like that. We've made a number of cards like this, Banishing Light with small bonus. So it was concepted like this, with the fairy pretty prominently featured, doing something a little bit different than Banishing Light. And then late in design, we decided, oh well, okay, we actually just want to fall back and not do this extra thing. We're gonna do we're just gonna make it basically Banishing Light. And there was the weird question of, well, are we okay doing just 2 Banishing Lights? Is that okay? Should we have it be Banishing Light, even though it's not really what the artwork is? A lot of discussion back and forth, and ultimately it was just settled on, we'll do Banishing Light again. It'll be a little strange that there's 2 copies of the same exact thing, but there's plenty of cards in Magic that are like that. And, it's not going to cause players to play with, like, 8 Banishing Lights in Legacy or something. So you're pretty safe. And if you like it in Commander, congratulations, you got a second copy. I find these cards are often dangerous in Commander, though, because people like to attack you to get their stuff back. Because if they kill you, this will go away, and their permanent will return. So be careful. Could be his Castaway right there. Another Disturb card. Got Tireless Hauler. And then, Catilda, Dawnheart Prime. Like a human lord right here. Good with counters. Good with making mana. That protected from werewolves, a great little flavorful line. Nice. Build up a new kind of human commander deck, or a +1/+1 counter deck, or a human +1/+1 counter deck, whatever you fancy. Tavern Ruffian has her foil at the back, and then let's see. Ooh, we got a nice little ad card here with the Decayed Token at the back. All right, moving right along. So we're about halfway through the box now. Ooh, might be a list card in this pack. Let's see what we have. We've got Arlen, the Pack's Hope. Nice. We got Swamp. We're getting like all the Planeswalkers on our art cards. That's great. Go through our connected commons and uncommons. This card, Morbid Opportunist, has been a total house for me. I had a draft deck with 2 of them the other day. Woo! Drew so many cards. Visions of Dread. Here's the black part of that cycle of those from the Commander decks. We saw the red one earlier. Here's the black member of it. Flashes back for mana less the mana cost of your commander. One thing we're trying to do is make cards that are good with high mana cost commanders. As the format gets broader and broader, often the cheaper commanders become better and better. So incentivizing high mana cost commanders is nice in general, and so cards like this, which reward you for playing them, are great. Geode Golem was another attempt at that. Stinging Study was another attempt at that. So, all going in that direction. And here's a Hollowed Respite. Exile non-legendary creature and bring it back. Kind of like a fun flickery thing. Momentary Blink is a fun card. This reminds me of that card quite a bit. But you can also exile their stuff to tap it, which is nice. Get it out of the way. Attack right through it. Good for blue-white tempo decks. Foil Organ Hoarder at the back. And then we get our list card. All right, so Quentin Hoover and Val Merrick. It's a white card. It's a 1/2 from 2008. So what's going on in 2008? That's like, we're past Time Spiral now. We're on to Shards of Alara. What's a 1/2 in Shards of Alara by Quentin Hoover and Val Merrick? Wow, I'm going to need a little more information. Let's see if I can get something here. Oh. Okay, I've seen the flavor text as Lorwyn. This is actually Morningtide. This is Stony Brook Schoolmaster? Is that what this card is called? Boom! Still got it. Stony Brook Schoolmaster. There it is. Yep, plenty of infinite combos with this card. Yeah, little merfolk here. Art by Quentin Hoover, one of Magic's greats. Rest in peace, Quentin. All right, well, we're going in here to the middle of the pack. We just had a wacky list card. I always like having a code word to know who's made it this far. So if you're still with us, you've watched this whole time, your code word to leave in the chat somewhere is Schoolmaster. Work it in stealthily. Try and write a sentence that has Schoolmaster in it that other people will not figure out it's the code word in. Schoolmaster. that'll be a fun one for you to all work in. Sometimes they're really easy, like Spooky or Pumpkin King. Schoolmaster, it's a little trickier. I'm going to be curious if you can figure out a clever way to get it in there. And speaking of things that are clever, check out the foiling on this forest. Okay, clever. That was a bad transition. I'm going to hop off my bad segue now. But really, check out the foiling on this. Got a bunch of these. It's really pretty. These foil Eternal Nightlands are great. Woo, devious cover-up. Love the art on this reprint. I love, again, when you can recontextualize a card on a different plane, right? On Ravnica, it was covering up murder by the Dimir. Here, it's turning a corpse into a scarecrow. So that's nice. And speaking of scarecrows, Scarecrow's Return. There's your little nod to something that showed up originally in Eventide and, the other one, Shadowmoor. And, always good to give your Reaper King deck some more options, right? Ooh, Giza, sweet. Here's the Glorious Resurrector in all her glory. Giza and Geralf are two fan favorite characters. We released the first two of them in Commander decks once we figured out how fan favorite they were. We released them as a dual individual card, Giza and Geralf in Eldritch Moon. And then here, we finally get Giza in a mainline booster set. It's pretty cool. Bring stuff back with Decayed. And this foil Lambhold Harrier here at the back. And then, I moved my card past, unfortunately. Oops, on me. But I saw what it was. It's Guttural Response, which is a very strange magic card. Counters a blue instant spell. I think even more interestingly than this, so the card originally from Cold Snap, very strange. It's not from Cold Snap, it's from Shadowmoor. This is a reprint in a dual deck, and a lot of people probably have not seen this artwork, which I think is worth noting. It's pretty strange printing of the card, right? I think this is the only version of this artwork that we did. I don't think we reprinted it with this anywhere else. So if you like seeing a screaming ape and you want to play with this card, which I always called Gutterball, that was one of my favorite nicknames for this, good old Gutterball, you can do it. It's a red-green counter spell. How often do you get a green counter for a blue instant, right? Really showed some of the wackiness Shadowmoor was up to. I've been listening to this podcast called The Receivables with Patrick Sullivan and Cedric Phillips. It's really great. Go check it out. You can check it out on YouTube somewhere or on Twitter, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. And they're covering Shadowmoor Eventide right now and talking about how wonky that block is. And yeah, can't wait for them to get to Gutterball, which I guess must be, it's in the first set because the first set had allied colors. Anyway, enough of Eventide. Let's talk about Innistrad Midnight Hunt. And some of these cool double face cards. I always love seeing these frames here. I'll be happy every time. Here's speaking of curses for Lind. Here's Curse of Leeches. When it transforms, you get to move it around. So either you get to put it on someone as the Curse of Leeches, and it leeches them slowly, or when it transforms, it becomes a creature. It's pretty cool to me. It reminds me of the Burrowed Parasite or whatever it ended up being called in Shadows over Innistrad that started off as a aura where the creature had to attack. And then when the creature died, it came back as a 3/2. Well, this is kind of a similar concept, but it transforms back and forth from the Leeching Lurker and the Curse of Leeches, which I think is pretty cool. I made the card in Innistrad, Infectious something or other, I think is what it's called. So really cool to see the same kind of play here. Curse of Leeches and Leeching Lurker. And then a foil Storm Rider Spirit at the very back. Cool. All right. Keep on moving through these packs. Curious what you all think about the pace of this. So, I've been really trying to get it down in these set booster videos. Some folks like it shorter, some like it longer. I'm kind of stopping when I have a story to tell, right? And if, kind of going past the commons, unless there's a particular card I want to talk about. Enduring Angel. This is a wacky mythic. Definitely a lot of room for wild mythic angels in Magic. So, 5 mana, 3/3 flying hexproof, double strike that gives you hexproof, and then kind of a wacky life total changing ability here that brings it back if you would die. I love cards like this. I designed the Stunning Reversal from Battle Bond, where if you would die, you instead go to 1 and draw 7 cards. I just love the chance that you have the dream of coming back, right? Of like, okay, well, you're going to kill me, but I can come back with this, maybe. It creates these really cool moments. So, love seeing that here. We got Blessed Defiance. And hey, another Booster Blitz minigame. It's really telling us to play Booster Blitz, I think, here. That's the moral of the story. All right, going into this pack. Looks like there's, maybe 2 in this row? So there's probably like 8 packs or so left. Ooh, maybe a list card in this one. Let's see what we get. Tovolar, Dire Overlord. So here we get the front face of the previous Tovolar that we saw on an art card. These are planes, commons and uncommons. This art, by the way, super creepy. This to me is one of the creepier pieces in the set because it's just not explained, right? Like, what is going on here? What's going on with this human assassin? Why do they look like this? Is it like some cult mask thing? Who knows? You have to watch the movie or something to figure out. Not that there's a movie for Innistrad, but maybe someday there will be. I'd love for there to be. Fangblade Brigand. Yeah, we saw one of these before in non-showcase. Turns into the Eviscerator. Got the Morning Patrol. Great name, by the way. Morning Patrol. Play on morning, M-O-U-R-N. This one has got the doggo, which I love, right? Even in, he hang out with his dog here. And even in death, he comes back to hang out with his dog. It's a great story. One thing I love about double face cards, and I talked about this in a previous video, is how you get to tell these kind of like narrative stories. Big fan of that. Where normally you can't really do that on a Magic card. You see a frozen point in time. Here's Patrician Geist. That's a nice little Spirit Lord. Tireless Hauler. Okay, and then did we get a list card at the back? Let's see. Oh, we did. See if we can guess what it is. So we've got 2-2 by Thomas Baxa from 2007. So that's also like Lorwyn era, potentially. Don't know what it is just from that. We're gonna have to dig a little deeper here. It's a big set, 383 cards, so it might be from Lorwyn proper. Let's dig a little deeper, see if I can figure it out. Well, that gives it away right there. Cards named Relentless Rats. This is going to be the core set Relentless Rats, I believe. Yeah, there it is. 10th edition Relentless Rats. Funny card to have in the list. Because, you want a lot of Relentless Rats. So these things are still showing up everywhere. They're still coming out of your booster packs even now. They're so relentless all the way in the year 2021. Quite a popular card. Relentless Rats was based on Plague Rats, from original all the way back in Alpha. People would play decks that had, 30 swamps and 30 plague rats or whatever, because they all pumped each other for how many rats you had. So Relentless Rats was a reference back to that, which is kind of cool. Dryad's Revival on this one. All right, Consider. Got the question a lot, even still, why Consider doesn't surveil. I did a whole video about it. Go check it out. Although I will say, we got so much feedback on it that it's definitely something we've talked about, right? Should we start doing that? Should we change what our opinions are about doing this kind of thing? Open discussion on it. We'll see what happens there. All right, here's another commander card, Visions of Dominance. The green one in this cycle. Fun fact here, you get a little froggy here, cute little froggy. What is he looking at in the artwork on the other side? Oh, that's just a Gitrog monster. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Big dreams for this little frog. Big dreams. Ooh, well, come back. Harvesttide Infiltrator. And the Harvesttide Salient, yep. Well, I gave away a bunch of stuff there. We got the Druid Graphkeeper, and then our Rite of Harmony here at the back. Kind of a variant on a Glimpse of Nature, which is a popular card. Works for enchantments too, though, so fits well in green-white as a kind of enchantment fall thing. And then Shady Traveler, so shady. Foil. Got a lot of these Shady Travelers, including Showcase one, Foil one. What your booster pack says about you when you open up a lot of Shady Travelers. There's a BuzzFeed quiz I would read. What opening up your booster pack says about you. And then there's a wolf. Gotta love a good old wolf. All right, moving right along. Ooh, another card. That one's probably a token if I'm playing the odds right, but let's see. We'll see. Or a checklist card, not a token, but there's Unnatural Moonrise here. Looking at these, we've got our Swamp, we got our commons, uncommons, Broodweaver. This card reminds me of Penumbra Spider, by the way. So that's kind of what it's a throwback to. Which is, that one died into another 2/4, which was quite strong. But this card's still great, even now. 4 mana, 2/4 reach that dies into a token. Always solid. In limited or casual constructed. Got a Bloodline Culling here as our rare. Either kills off one thing or kills off a bunch of creature tokens. Great against those creature token focused decks. Always nice to have answers to those walking around here. Got a Foil Necrosynthesis, which is maybe one of my favorite card names in the set. Love that name. Love it when you make something up by combining two things that sound like they could be real. Ooh, this one is not a checklist card at the very back. Just from C14. So this is Commander. I should know this. It's in my wheelhouse. C14. Okay. C14. Although it might be, I think it's a reprint gauging for the collector's number. It's an uncommon. Oh well, I totally biffed it there. But I would if I gotten this far, I could have told you it was Karoo. Because I usually have to trust me on that. There's a cycle of these. I'll tell you why. There's a cycle of these from Mirage Block. There's 5 of them, one for each color. Like there's a blue one that's like Coral Atoll and a bunch of others. These cards were the inspiration. They're actually quite important in Magic history. These were the inspiration for the Ravnica bounce lands. So if you've ever played a Celestia Sanctuary or Dimir Aqueduct, these cards inspired those years later in Ravnica. I think these are the only land. This is the only land I think in Magic history that has tap, add 1 and a white to your mana pool on it. So yeah, I know this one. Trust me, I would have gotten it if I hadn't accidentally moved my hand at the wrong moment. Oops, daisy. Yeah, quite an iconic card. I forgot that was actually in that commander deck, though. Did not remember that. The Mirage was such an influential set in general. Ooh, another Magic card back. So much from Mirage was taken. Charms did a whole video on how Charms ended up being more in Magic. Even phasing we've brought back to use now. You know, a lot of good design principles. Limited started in Mirage. So it's a very, very crucial time in Magic design. All right, going through Sun Gold Sentinel. A little bit of Coven action for you. Got Bird Admirer. And then I'm sorry, just so excited to get to the end. I kind of skipped through that pack fast. I want to see there's another list card. I just love this mini game so much. Nope. All right, it's a checklist card. Still good to have around. You always want checklist cards, and you know, you sit around the table, you build your constructed decks. You want to have enough checklists, or if you don't want to play with sleeves, or more likely if you just don't want to take the risk of doing so. Oh, cool! Hey, we got one of these artist signed art cards. These are great. They show up at a pretty low percentage, but when they do show up, they're pretty hot looking. This is great. So the artist here is Chris Rollis on Denick, Pious Apprentice, and yeah, this definitely looks like his signature, and that is I mean, not that I know what it looks like, but just from the words here, from Rollis is kind of what that looks like, right? That looks great. Check out that sweet foiling on it. That's awesome. Got to collect them all. Okay. Gonna keep going here. Got our Hound Tamer. This is a really nice one for your Werewolf tribal deck. It flips over, gives all your Werewolves trample, and we're always looking with these kind of cards to have abilities that are mana sinks on them, so that if you don't want to cast spells, if you want to keep it in day or night, you can. And so this is a great card for that because it's not only a Lord, but gives you something to do with all your extra mana, which is nice. Got Burn Down the House. This was designed by Melissa DeTora. She wanted a sweeper that wasn't always dead if the board was swept, and I'd say she did a fine job here. It sweeps the board great, has 5 mana for 5 damage, but can make tokens in a pinch, which is nice. A nice replacement to whatever the Nicol Bolas one is called, Hour of Devastation from Hour of Devastation. I've put that into some commander decks. Don't really care about the non-Bolas rider. And yeah, this is just a nice upgrade over that for me. Path to the Festival. Cool. Gives you some lands. Maybe lets you scry too, depending on how you're feeling. Oh, and there's info on the list. So yeah, 1 in every 4 set boosters gets a list card, as I mentioned earlier. And the zombie on the back. All right, looks like we've got 4 booster packs left. Coming into the home stretch here. Would love to find a Planeswalker in one of them, or another, man, if we got another one of those borderless lands, that would be sweet. Fading Hope as our art card here. Alright, going through our commons and uncommons, going into our showcase cards. Ooh, Adeline Resplendent Cathar, that's cool. Always happy to get a legend in one of these, just because, gives you a new opportunity for a commander deck. Often when you see a legend, you just get excited because it probably means it's something special. So we can make some extra humans, good for like a human tribal style deck. Scales up with power equal to creatures you control, so that's nice. Got foil Candlegrove Witch at the back, cool. I'm gonna check out this foiling. Just one thing, foiling on the showcase cards. Hats off to the team on that. They look great. And then we get to, a Magic Mini Game. This is a new one. I'm not going to read off the whole thing, but Into the Story Horror Edition, as you can imagine. This is very much tied to Innistrad. So here's the front side. If you want to see what it does or what the rules are, you just pause the card right here and, pause the video, read the whole thing. But, yeah, Into the Story Horror Edition there. All right, 3 more packs left. Let's see what we find. See if we find any goodies. They're all goodies in their own way, but Catilda, Dawnheart Prime. I opened one of these up earlier. It is on the art card there. Got our Forest, got our commons and uncommons, Phantom Carriage, Brutal Cathar. Hey, that's cool. We got a showcase Brutal Cathar. This is in the wild card spot. Could be kind of anything. And yeah, a nice showcase card here. Looks like this on the backside. White card that turns into a red card. Gotta watch out in your commander decks, right? You can't play this in a mono white commander deck. White, red only. So don't get got by that. But still, pretty cool card. And you know, it's nice to have like a variant on Banisher Priest style stuff. So, and if you keep flipping it back and forth, you can exile a bunch of stuff, which is nice. Very almost Huntmaster of the Fells reminiscent, which is cool. Got Ambitious Farmhand. 2 mana 1/1 that gets you a basic plains, by the way. Nice to have this kind of thing around. Just consistency for white decks, even in Commander. This is 2 mana that kind of cantrips for you, and then late game it can transform and give you the Seasoned Cathar, or even mid game, not even late game. Just need Coven. But still, 2 mana 1/1 that gets you a land with upside is solid on its own. We got the Hostile Hotel, or Hostile, excuse me. The Hostile. And creeping in. When these names showed up in our internal slideshow we do before for the set ships, where basically everyone in the company, or at least who works on Magic, gets to see the final cards, people lost their minds. This was a hilarious one. I still love it. I'm a huge fan of kind of the clever wordplay of things like this. And then a Brimstone Vandal. And then, here's another Magic minigame. Once again, pause it if you want to see what's going on with this one, but Day versus Night. Here's the backside of Day versus Night. Play with your friends. A little mini game. Big hats off to the mini game team for coming up with these. I did a video on this previously, but it's like Annie Sardellis who worked on some of these, and Victoria Kanya, Megan Smith came up with a lot of these initial ideas. All kinds of cool stuff. We've got Candle Grove Witch. Ooh, yeah, the showcase version there. It's cool. Another foil land. Love it. That's pretty cool. Opening up so many of these. Really jump-starting my new decks I'm trying to build. Choosing my favorite foil awesome lands. It's great to have variety. Thermal Alchemist, another card reprinted with the original artwork here, which is nice. Still good, as it turns out, as a staple in blue-red spells decks. Sometimes, don't mess with the best, right? Come at the king, you might just miss, and, Thermal Alchemist is great limited uncommon for these kind of things, so. Solid removal spell here in Cathartic Pyre, and having the looting ability is really nice. Village Watch, good for your werewolf deck. There's the Village Reavers on the other side, which pumps up your wolves and werewolves. Another Delver of Secrets, not foil this time though. Oh, 2 Village Watches, how about that? 2 showcase ones in the same pack, that's wild. Smoldering Egg, oh man, I got beat by this card in Arena just earlier today. Turns into this Ashmouth Dragon. I think it's a cool story. It's, we've done the egg to dragon trope a few times. So it's pretty cool to see that story here on a double-face card. Reminds me of a Thing in the Ice as well, right? And then a foil Root Coil Creeper here at the very back. All right, on to our last pack of this set booster opening. Here it is. Let's see what we get. Let's see what awesomeness we open up. Ooh, card at the back. Maybe we get to play the list mini game. We'll find out. We've got a Nebelgast Intruder on this thing. Got Mountain, commons and uncommons. We got Bird Admirer. We got Harvesttide Infiltrator. Casting Naturalist, a great werewolf 2-drop. 2 mana, 2/2 that nets you a mana when it attacks. And then pumps up your wolves and werewolves on the backside. Pretty key card for your wolf or werewolf deck. I gotta say, by the way, I love how often we're seeing these showcase cards in these packs. It really makes you feel like, wow, I'm just getting so many of these. Like, I could fill out my deck with them. Which is cool. Which is the goal. You want them all to be the same, right? Wake to Slaughter. Black-red rare flashback card here. Get some stuff back. We got Vampire Interloper in foil. And then let's see if we have a list card at the very back, or if it's just a checklist card. All right, just a checklist card to round it all out. Well, there we go. There is our set booster box. All kinds of cool stuff opened up. Lots of foil lands. We got that Dragonlord Dromoka, which is pretty cool. Foil Delver of Secrets. So all kinds of fun stuff. And of course, the Stony Brook Schoolmaster. Well, I hope all you all enjoyed this video and seeing all the cool stuff we opened up. Oh, really happy about this too, to finish out my dual land set of the borderless cards. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and you're going to go out and check out Innistrad because it hits stores today. So go out to your local game store, give them your support, grab a box, or just whatever you're feeling from them, and have a lot of fun. In the meantime, though, I will talk with you all again very soon. Have fun with Innistrad, and remember, you got this.